All right, guys, we got an update this morning on the Rashan Gary injury he suffered in yesterday's loss to the Detroit Lions, that apparent knee injury that he suffered in that game, got carted off the field. Some news just came out, some awful, awful news. The first tweet here is put out by Jeremy Fowler, and it states, initial belief is Packers pass rusher Rashan Gary suffered a torn ACL on Sunday versus Detroit, but the player is undergoing MRI to determine full scope of the injury per source. If confirmed, injury would end the season for Gary, who had 6 sacks on the year, team holding out hope. But then that was followed up by Ian Rappaport, and it is confirmed. Rashan Gary tears his ACL, source confirms, and he'll have an MRI to determine if there's additional damage. More bad luck for the Packers. And this is just awful, awful news. Like I said before, this is one of the best, if not the best Packers defender this year, and kind of the lone bright spot on this Packers football team. I feel like if the Packers had any chance to turn this around, turn the season around, it's not going to start with all these players getting injured. And a lot of players got injured yesterday. And when it's people like Rashan Gary, who are not going to be able to play for the rest of the year, not looking too good. Gary had 32 combined tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 6 total sacks. And this isn't an edge room that is already super thin. When Rashan Gary was even healthy, I thought they needed to go out and sign a veteran edge player to add to that rotation. They never did, and kind of was because of the emergence of Kingsley Enagbare, who I think now should be the full-time starter. Enagbare has 4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. He would have had another sack yesterday if it wasn't for a penalty. And he already started to play over 40% of snaps anyways, so now that'll jump to around 60 to 70% of snaps, just like Rashan Gary did get, and he'll be alongside Preston Smith. I do have high hopes for Kingsley Enagbare. It looks like the Packers got the real deal with him in this draft, kind of stole him from this draft in the 5th round there. So I am hyped to see him play, but obviously you don't want to see someone like Rashan Gary get hurt. But Enagbare, I do believe, will be the replacement here. But nonetheless, the Packers are so thin at this edge spot, and I do believe they're going to have to sign someone as well. Tipa Galeai is already on IR. Who knows when he's going to be able to return? That leaves them with Preston Smith, who's already starting, Kingsley Enagbare, John Garvin, and Ladarius Hamilton. And John Garvin has not been good at all this year, probably one of the worst defenders on the Packers in terms of PFF grades. And Ladarius Hamilton is a practice squad call-up, and the one game he did get called up, he was the worst graded defender on the Packers a couple weeks ago. So I do think the Packers are going to have to go out, sign a free agent, whoever that may be, we will see. Some of the veteran options at the edge position in this free agent pool right now, it's pretty thin. There's not many options here, but we have Dee Ford, Tack McKinley, Olivier Vernon, if he's even ready to play, and ex-Packer Kyler Fackrell. So as I said, not many vet free agents out there. Ryan Kerrigan retired. Whitney Merciless, who the Packers signed last year, also retired. Who knows if they would even be able to get him to come back with how bad the season is going. If I was him, I wouldn't, put the cleats back on to play for this Packers team right now. But they likely will end up just signing some undrafted free agent guy that we've never heard of to this team. And overall, like I said, just horrible news. You never want to see a player go down with an injury, and especially when it's something like an ACL injury. I feel like us Packers fans have gone through so much ACL trouble in the past couple of years. I know this happens with every team, but the whole Bakhtiari thing, then we see Elton Jenkins, then Robert Tonyan, then Kylan Hill, now Rashan Gary, and a lot of those players are very, very key players to this football team. Definitely Rashan Gary included. So horrible news here. This defense, it was playing okay. And, Rashan Gary was a big part of that. The Packers, being able to create some pressure with 4 guys, Rashan Gary on one edge, Preston Smith on the other, Kenny Clark in the middle. But they're going to have to figure something out here now because they're not going to get it done with just 4 guys, I don't believe, rushing the passer. They're going to have to come up with some, pressure packages and whatnot. And like I said, Kingsley Enagbare has looked really good, and I think he can go into this starting role and perform pretty well. But nonetheless, you never want to see someone like this get hurt like this. But that about does it for this video. If you are new here and want more Packers news analysis and updates every single day, go down, hit that subscribe button, leave a like on the video, and turn on post notifications. But I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.